EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Now a play fake. Wentz. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They will run with White out of the shotgun. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter. The Raiders at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
After the interception, here's Darnold. They'll get this to Nwangu. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. A first carry here for Kene Nwangu. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 39. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Raiders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he will have a Vikings first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. On first down, Darnold. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you. Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Darnold. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Tyler Boyd, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are on the board first here in Vegas. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one as he's tackled at the 15. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Eight yards to go on 2nd down. On play action, it's Wentz. Rolling to his right. Oh, looking for water, but this is intercepted. Picked off by a Caleb Evans. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Cook. And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 13-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Wins to throw on second down. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Past the 20. 5. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick six. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 21-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First down, here's White. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Jacobs going to try the middle. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw is Wentz. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll look downfield for Waller. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, They might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Taken down at the 30.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Darnold from the red zone now. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. Touchdown, Vikings! Marquise Goodwin, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2. And they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it is 28-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They go with Jacobs. And, boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. He'll buy some time right. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, his Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
And able to get this to the 31. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 31, Darnold, complete. Jefferson the target. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 17-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. To throw is Darnold. There's Jefferson to pull that in. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Cook is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right, because this team felt like they let one get away in the opener. And not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything that went wrong in game 1, they took care of business with it in game 2.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but
I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Wentz on third down. He'll look downfield for Waller. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Wentz to throw for it on fourth. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by a Caleb Evans. And the Vikings are going to take possession up. Football.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Darnold.
He's going to find Jefferson open downfield.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big pickup of 38.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
They'll look to run with Nwangu.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And they'll run again.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Kene Nwangu, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it is 42-0.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. To throw, White. He hits Adams complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. The play fake, now White. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Raiders are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still comfortably on top, third quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. Well, going for Jefferson downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. This is caught. It's Boyd. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And he's got this to Jefferson. He's got room at the 30, and he'll be ridden out of bounds all the way down at the 15-yard line.
A big play there for Minnesota. 44 yards.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson. Touchdown! Justin Jefferson.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the fourth. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Off play action, here's White. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7.
53 yards on the ground for him so far.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run straight ahead here with White. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Jacobs will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Jacobs again. And this time he'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll run it with Jacobs, and this time he is in.
Yes.
Josh Jacobs,
halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50.
And the Raiders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. White. That's caught by Waller out left side. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays down.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 112 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Raiders pick it up. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 40. The 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had a goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taking it about the 1. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
On second down, Cook.
And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, they're